Imagine waking up one morning, enjoying your cup of tea, and suddenly realizing that your body isn't quite what it used to be. Maybe your energy dips earlier in the day, or that morning stiffness is getting harder to shake off. Now, what if I told you that there's a simple, 10-second trick you can do with your tongue that could drastically reduce your risk of stroke after 60? Yes, you heard that right, a tiny, almost effortless habit, backed by Japan's oldest practicing doctor, who has spent decades helping people live longer, healthier lives. Today, I'm going to walk you through this amazing practice, why it works, and how it ties into your overall health, your daily habits, and the way your body responds to aging. But before we get into it, I want you to picture this: your body is like a finely tuned instrument. Every muscle, every nerve, every drop of blood has a role to play, and just like any instrument, if one part is off, the whole performance suffers. Stroke is one of the most devastating events that can happen as we age, and it often creeps in silently. The scary part is that for many people over 60, the signs appear long before the emergency hits. High blood pressure, subtle memory lapses, minor numbness, or even tiny balance issues are warning signs most people ignore. But here's the good news: small, deliberate actions can make a huge difference, and the tongue trick we're going to talk about is one of the easiest, yet most overlooked, practices that can boost circulation, support brain function, and even stabilize blood pressure. So let's start with the trick itself, because I want you to see just how simple it is. It takes only 10 seconds, and you can do it anywhere, at home, in the car while parked, even at your office desk. All you do is press the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, just behind your front teeth. Hold it there, and gently breathe in and out for a few seconds. That's it. 10 seconds. I know it sounds almost too easy to be true, but here's why it works. The roof of your mouth is rich with nerves that connect directly to your brain and your nervous system. When you stimulate this area with your tongue, it helps activate the vagus nerve, a critical pathway that influences heart rate, blood pressure, and even inflammation throughout your body. In other words, this tiny action can help regulate the very systems that, when unbalanced, increase your stroke risk. Now, I want you to understand that this isn't just a quirky habit that Japanese doctors recommend for no reason. This technique has been observed for decades in clinical settings. Japan is home to one of the world's longest living populations, and their approach to aging is both scientific and holistic. Doctors there focus not only on medicine but also on preventive practices, daily routines, subtle movements, mindful habits, that keep the body in balance. This tongue trick is part of that wisdom. It's simple, yes, but it's also a doorway into a larger lifestyle that supports vascular health and overall longevity. But let's be honest, we all know that longevity isn't just about one trick or one exercise. If you want to truly reduce your stroke risk after 60, it's about combining this simple habit with other supportive routines. Let's talk about some of those, starting with your diet. You've probably heard this before, but it's worth repeating: what you eat is the foundation of your health. For stroke prevention, foods rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, and fiber are your best friends. Think colorful vegetables, berries, nuts, seeds, and oily fish like salmon or mackerel. These foods help reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and keep your blood vessels flexible. On the other hand, processed foods, sugary snacks, and excessive salt can quietly sabotage your vascular health over time. And I'm not here to preach, I'm here to show you that small, consistent adjustments in what you eat can have an enormous impact over the years. Imagine replacing just one sugary snack a day with a handful of almonds or a few slices of avocado. That's a tiny change, but compounded daily, it builds a foundation for a stronger, more resilient heart and brain. Next, let's talk about movement. I know many people over 60 think they have to do intense workouts to see results, but that's not true at all. Light, consistent movement is often more beneficial than short bursts of extreme exercise. Walking, gentle stretching, tai chi, even simple mobility exercises while standing in your kitchen, these help improve circulation, strengthen muscles, and keep your balance in check. Remember, stroke risk is closely tied to cardiovascular health, and keeping your blood flowing smoothly is essential. That's why combining this 10-second tongue trick with a few minutes of light movement every day can create a synergy your body will thank you for. Now, I want to share something many people overlook: stress management. When we get older, stress doesn't just vanish. In fact, chronic stress can accelerate aging, increase blood pressure, and compromise the immune system. But here's the empowering part: techniques like deep breathing, meditation, and yes, even the tongue trick itself, activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This is your body's rest and repair mode, which counters the harmful effects of stress. Imagine taking a few moments each day, pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth, breathing slowly, and letting your body shift into a state of calm. Over time, these small moments of relaxation accumulate, reducing the strain on your heart and blood vessels. And speaking of accumulation, I need you to think about habits in layers. One habit alone won't change everything, but when you combine dietary choices, movement, stress management, and small daily practices like this tongue trick, you create a lifestyle that's almost like a shield for your brain and body. I love to remind people that aging gracefully isn't about avoiding life or hiding from challenges, it's about giving your body the tools it needs to function at its best, even as the years pass. And here's the beauty: this 10-second habit fits seamlessly into your day. You don't have to carve out hours at the gym or overhaul your entire life overnight. It's approachable, sustainable, and surprisingly effective. Now, I want to pause and address something important. Many people think stroke is sudden and unpredictable, but the truth is that your body gives you signals long before disaster strikes. Subtle issues like recurring headaches, slight facial numbness, fatigue, or even feeling lightheaded can all be early warnings. Incorporating habits like the tongue trick not only helps reduce risk, it also makes you more mindful of these signs. Awareness itself is a protective factor. When you pay attention to your body, you catch issues earlier, which is crucial after 60. Let's talk a little about sleep, because it ties directly into all of this. Quality sleep allows your body to repair, regenerate, and clear out toxins from the brain. Poor sleep, on the other hand, contributes to high blood pressure, inflammation, and increased stroke risk. Here's a tip: combining your nightly wind-down routine with the tongue trick can enhance relaxation before bed. Take 10 seconds to press your tongue, breathe deeply, and let your body transition from the day's activity into rest. Over time, this creates a rhythm that supports better sleep, better circulation, and ultimately, better health outcomes. Another powerful aspect of the tongue trick is its accessibility. You don't need equipment, you don't need a gym membership, and you don't need to wait for a doctor's appointment to start. This is a habit you can begin immediately, and because it's so short, you're more likely to stick with it. Consistency is the real key here. The benefits compound daily, so even if it feels insignificant at first, over weeks and months, you'll notice subtle improvements: better focus, more stable blood pressure, and a general sense of well-being. I also want to emphasize the mindset piece, because it's often underestimated. After 60, many people assume that serious health changes are out of reach, that aging inevitably means decline. That couldn't be further from the truth. Your body retains remarkable capacity to adapt, recover, and strengthen, no matter your age. Practices like this tongue trick are physical, yes, but they're also symbolic. They represent taking control of your health, reclaiming small, actionable power in your daily life. And when you combine that with a positive mindset, it creates a momentum that's hard to stop. Let's dive a little deeper into how this trick affects your nervous system. The tongue pressing on the roof of your mouth sends signals that engage not just the vagus nerve, but also the muscles in your throat, jaw, and neck. These areas are all connected to the circulatory system. By gently activating them, you're encouraging better blood flow, oxygen delivery, and neural communication. It's almost like giving your body a mini tune-up, 10 seconds at a time. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. You'll find yourself reaching for this small exercise automatically, like brushing your teeth or taking a sip of water. Now, let's address skepticism, because it's natural to wonder, can a 10-second tongue trick really impact stroke risk? The answer lies not in magic, but in the cumulative effect of small, evidence-based habits. Japan's oldest doctor has seen firsthand that small, simple interventions often produce better long-term results than sporadic, extreme measures. This tongue trick may seem minor, but when integrated into a lifestyle of mindful eating, gentle movement, stress management, and regular sleep, it's part of a system that protects your health. And here's the kicker, systems thinking is exactly what makes longevity practices so effective. One small change triggers another. You do the tongue trick, you feel calmer, you sleep better, you move more easily, and you start making healthier food choices. Suddenly, your whole life shifts in a positive direction. Before we wrap up, I want you to imagine your life 1 year from now if you start today. 10 seconds in the morning, 10 seconds before bed, a few mindful breaths throughout the day, better food choices, light movement, and regular sleep. Your energy levels are higher, your brain feels sharper, and your body feels resilient. You notice subtle improvements in your circulation, balance, and overall health. You've created a protective environment for your brain and heart, and all it took was awareness, consistency, and a willingness to try something simple. Finally, I want to leave you with a challenge. Start incorporating this 10-second tongue trick into your day right now. Set a reminder if you need to, but don't overthink it. Press the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, breathe slowly, and visualize your body thriving. Pair it with one small dietary change, one brief movement session, and a mindful moment of calm. That's all it takes to start building a foundation that could reduce your stroke risk and support your health for years to come. Remember, aging doesn't have to be scary, and strokes aren't inevitable. With simple, consistent habits like this, you can take control of your health, protect your brain, and live a vibrant, active life well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Japan's oldest doctor has spent decades proving that the smallest habits often have the biggest impact, and this 10-second tongue trick is a perfect example. It's easy, it's free, and it works. Your body is capable of remarkable resilience, and every day you take small steps like this, you're investing in a future where health, energy, and independence aren't just possibilities, they're your reality. So, start today. 10 seconds in the morning, 10 seconds at night, and keep building your healthy routines around it. You don't need to do everything perfectly, but you do need to start. Your body will thank you, your brain will thank you, and you'll discover that simple habits, when done consistently, truly are the gateway to longer, healthier, and more vibrant life.